All right. Elgato Facecam Pro, let's go. Yes, what's good, people? It's man like Jamo. We're out here with the Elgato Facecam Pro. Obviously, disclaimer, Elgato sent this down to me for free to check out, review, and let you guys know what's really good. Opinions are obviously gonna be my own though. So let's get down into it. I've actually got both my cameras set up here, fam. Just going between each camera, which one do you guys think looks the best? Yeah, is it camera A or is it camera B, fam? Like, let me know in the comment section below before you go any further. Let me give you it again. Camera A, camera B. Which one is just the Elgato Facecam Pro and which one is like my 1000 Sony camera setup with the f 1.8 11mm lens and all them things there, innit? Let me know which one you think it is. I think we'll have a little look at the Facecam Pro first, and then let's have a look at the focus. Let's have a look at the low light performance, you know, them things there. Let you guys know who this camera is really for, because I have never ever in my life seen a £300 web camera, and I've never ever seen anyone buy a web camera that expensive. So let's get into it. Now, inside the box, obviously, I'll let you guys pause if you want to read that. But yeah, inside the box, obviously, you got USB-C cable. I think this is USB 3.2 Gen 2 for the camera, USB-C to C. You got this nice little quarter screw thread stand or monitor mount, which lets you put the camera on top and then mount it to the top of the monitor. And then you've got the camera itself, fam. And this thing is a big, beefy bad boy. I remember when the original Facecam came out, it looked massive. This one, they're just taking the mick. They're just taking the mick, but it actually does feel good quality. It's quite weighty. It's got that expensive weight to it. You know them ones there when you're thinking, right, let me not drop this because man cannot afford to drop this. You've got a nice little piece of logo there and thing, little logo on the top as well. Yeah, no, it looks wavy, man. It looks wavy. Little exhaust there and at the bottom as well. There's also a little reset button at the bottom here where you can reset it on the fly in case it starts moving mad. Yeah, nice little piece of kit. Would have been nice to have some kind of lens cover here though, or something like that, fam, because yo, the FBI are literally spying on man them in 4K right now, you get it? Now people them, I hope you locked in your vote, fam, because we're gonna reveal which camera is which. I'll just show you one more time real quick. Camera A is this one, camera B is this one, yeah? Camera A, camera B, camera A, camera B. That's going to be hell to edit later on. Camera A is the Facecam Pro, guys. Camera B is my Sony ZV-E10 with the 11mm f1.8 lens on there. I've done a few adjustments to the Facecam Pro to get it looking like my Sony ZV-E10, and I think I've done quite well, to be honest, fam. But I'm gonna show you what those adjustments are right now. Now, first thing I put on was a little bit of background blur, the same background blur that's in Microsoft Teams, Zoom, them video conferencing tools there. I literally put it on the least amount using the NVIDIA broadcast program and turn it off. Boom, there we go. We're just a little bit more in focus with the background kind of thing. It's not that deep, but you know, I tried to do that so that it emulated the shallow depth of field that my proper camera also has with that f1.8 aperture lens. And then in the Elgato Camera Hub app, I zoomed in a little bit, I punched in a little bit because obviously the Facecam Pro has a nice wide field of view. If I zoom out, this is the whole wide field of view, fam. Like, I'm sitting very close to it right now. Mad close, at least 30 centimeters away from it. If I sit back here, yeah, you see how wide the field of view is. Obviously my head is taking up all that field of view right now. You've got a couple more options that you can play around with. Obviously focus, picture, exposure, white balance, processing, all them things. You got some effects here as well that I haven't really messed around with, but yeah, quite a lot of settings and options that you can tweak around in the Facecam Pro Camera Hub app. But I would definitely say even without those tweaks, I feel like the camera looks pretty decent in comparison to the Sony ZV-E10. Now moving on to autofocus, obviously it's a bit of an unfair test to put the Facecam Pro up against the Sony ZV-E10 because everyone knows that Sony in the world of cameras itself is class leading when it comes to autofocus, fam. But I'm not gonna lie, the Facecam Pro didn't do too bad here. One thing that would have been really sick is if the Facecam Pro had focus area adjustment, so you could let it know, boom, this is what man wants to do, or this is the area that man wants to focus on, kind of thing. But it does quite well. So if you was showing products to the camera, it does a pretty good job of keeping them in focus as long as there's lots of light on that subject, fam. Okay, now obviously man has got the light set up here. We've got one light on the left of me, we've got two lights in front of me, we even got the Elgato light behind me, kind of thing. We're gonna turn those lights off and see how the Elgato Facecam Pro manages low light performance, because not everybody's got a million lights on their setup. Some people just want to get the camera and you're gonna have to save up for the light later on. We're gonna see how the Facecam Pro does without light with its bigger sensor. Start turning these off. Boom, one light done off, second light done off, third light done off, and right now the Sony isn't even really brightening up my face. It looks like the Sony is just focusing on exposing the Elgato light, whereas the Elgato Facecam Pro seems to be exposing for my face. I look a little bit pink, but that might be because of the Elgato light making everything in the room blue. So right now, as far as I'm concerned, the Elgato Facecam Pro is definitely winning. I'm going to turn off this blue light behind me though. Let's click that off and let's see what's going on here. The Elgato Facecam Pro is still exposing for my face. The Sony is just now catching up from what I can see. I kind of like both images. The Elgato definitely looks a lot brighter to me, but I think where it's bumped up the brightness with the ISO, I'm seeing a little bit of noise above the Elgato sign, fam. And I think even on my arm here, let me just make it bigger. Yeah, all over my face there's bare noisy grainy situation thing going on, fam. Even on my arm here, anything that is too brown or too dark, yeah, it's having trouble getting the light to expose it properly. Whereas my camera with the much bigger sensor, with the 11 millimeter f1.8, the image just looks a lot cleaner. It does look a lot darker though, I have to say. It does look a lot darker where it's trying to expose for my t-shirt and my skin, but it's a lot cleaner because it's probably using a lot less ISO anyway. If I look at the camera, it should now expose to my face, kind of thing. But yeah, they're both not doing too bad, but obviously the Facecam Pro, yeah, it's just looking a bit grainy where there's no light. Alright people, so I've shown you the autofocus performance, I've shown you the low light performance, you've seen the build quality, you've seen all the accessories that come with the thing, the ease of use plugging it in. But is this £299 camera for you? I don't know, but it depends on your use case. Obviously for me now, I definitely know that it's for me, because I do a lot of talking head videos in this style that you're seeing right now. And if I usually want to get this kind of high quality talking head video, I have to use my Sony ZV-E10, set it up on a desk, make sure that it's facing me, and do my video, which is all cool. It's possible to do, as you guys have seen in the comparison. However, a lot of you know that I also take my Sony ZV-E10 out to take pictures, do up photography, or sometimes I just have it facing the desk itself if I'm unboxing the product on the desk, which means that I have to now take it up out of one setup to put it into another setup, or I have to take it up out of one setup to go outside and do photography. But now that man has got the Elgato Facecam Pro sitting on the desk, I can get that ease of use in getting my 4K 60 frames per second talking head footage without having to do any further setups when I come to create content. And the whole thing about creating content for me is that I want to do maximum content with minimal effort, you understand? See, now this is what I'm talking about. This is the source right here, yeah? You got the 4K camera on the table viewing the product, and then obviously you got 4K on my face as well. Obviously what man would probably do is make this one a lot bigger. Yeah, you see it like that, fam. You see it like that, and then I'll put this on top. But I'll probably put this in the corner. Yeah, I'm doing this live, fam, live in the video. So it'll be like this, boom. You get it? You're seeing the 4K thing with a little bit of screen tearing. I don't know why I'm getting screen tearing, but there it is. You're getting the screen tearing there. Boom, boom, boom. 4K thing. And then you got me in the top right, fam. This is how I would do my product reviews in the future now that I've got the Elgato Face Camera Pro in my setup to help me out with that 4K content. However, if you're just doing streaming, for example, like let's say you're just doing Twitch streaming, 1080p 60 frames per second maximum, your audience might not notice the difference of you using a 4K 60 frames per second camera. You might be a lot better off with the original Facecam, the 1080p 60 frames per second thing, save a little bit of money to upgrade some lights in your setup or stuff like that. If you're doing a lot of YouTube like me, as I said, for example, you've got 4K 60 uploads, you've got 4K 60 streams as well, so it would be a lot more beneficial. So in terms of, is it worth it? Yes, in certain content creator workloads. I'm not saying you can't get it if you're Twitch streaming, but it won't make as much sense until Twitch unlock 4K 60 streams, innit? But one thing I do know right now is through extensive research, Elgato are the only people doing a fully fledged 4K 60 frames per second webcam. So they're the only people you can get it from. If that's what you need, you know where to get it.